It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support at sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, and over 25 podcast platforms. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Also follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with a wonderful lady out of Brooklyn. She's the alternative dream princess pop of Brooklyn, or the alternative dream pop princess of Brooklyn. And she's got a new single out called Sense for Love with Jayse Vegas, and it's on the charts right now, streaming all over. And she's also got some other songs as well, too. But live from Brooklyn, ladies and gentlemen, the ultimate dream pop princess of Brooklyn, ROzeGld. Rose, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. Good evening here. It's evening here in Brooklyn.
Well, that's why we're called 24/7. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. And it can be, say, you can listen to a show. You could be having breakfast in New York. You could be having lunch in Los Angeles or dinner in London, or you just can't sleep worth a you-know-what in Tokyo. So it's a good thing you're on. It's a good thing you're on as well, too. So you're considered the alternative dream pop princess of Brooklyn. You've got a single out called Sense for Love with Jayse Vegas. We'll play that later on as well, too. You also got some experience under your belt, and you're also out of Brooklyn. And before we get into all that in your great career, tell us how you got started.
I actually grew up in California, which is my home always in my heart. And I was writing songs from a very young age, and just, I was supported by a hippie musician parents, and I just kept with it. Music has always, made me feel good inside, and I started noticing that it made other people feel good too, and I just love it. I sang all through high school. My first bands, I played bass and guitar. I just, kept it rolling through college. And shortly after I graduated, I was in a couple bands in Santa Cruz, California, and then we went on tour, and our last stop was New York, and I just didn't want to go back. So I ended up here with a producer and started doing some solo stuff then. And then I was with a band, Jen Urban and the Box, which was a project of mine for a long time and took many forms, and we did some great stuff. And then, recently I started producing, and I decided to produce a solo record, and that's how ROzeGld was born. And I'm really excited about this new music. It's really representative of, the journey I've had and where I'm at now. So I'm really excited to share it with the world.
Mm-hmm. That sounds amazing. We'll talk about it in journey in just a minute. But what was that one moment that influenced you into what you're doing today? Was that aha moment that says, yes, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life?
Like I said, I don't think I ever considered anything else. It's gotten hard along the way, and I've doubted it at different moments, but there's always been something that, whether it was internal or external, that pulled me to this source. And I believe that music comes through us, and it's a gift to share. And, no matter where it's brought me, up or down, I just have always been pulled to continue doing it. And so, it's been a journey, and I'm just grateful to be on it.
Mm-hmm. And who are some of your favorite artists, singers, and musicians growing up?
So when I was a kid, oh man, I've always had a really diverse, eclectic taste in music. And at times I think it hindered me to like settle into one genre. Like I really listened to everything from, old school hip hop and Salt and Pepper to like Nirvana, and even, Hole when I was a kid was like such a big influence just because I loved seeing like a strong female rocker. But then, I started getting into electronic music and techno and, bands like Portishead, and like a softer side of that sound kind of really, has led me towards the direction I went in now. And then, currently, I think there was like this transitional moment where I fell in love with pop music. I don't know if it was Britney Spears, early Britney, or like, obviously when I was really young, it was Madonna, but, there's always been that pop kind of pull no matter what direction I was going in. And so now I've kind of landed like happily in a space where I feel like pop can be very influential in this time, like with artists, like Halsey and even, Billie Eilish, and huge, young influences on my music now. So it's really grown and changed a lot.
Mm-hmm. And we'll talk about your journey in just a minute as well, too, along with your previous singles and your hit single. But first, listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition way. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, and over 25 podcast platforms. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Also follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with a wonderful lady who is the alternative dream pop princess of Brooklyn, ROzeGld, here on the Mike Wagner Show, going from California to Brooklyn, and we're playing her song Sense for Love in just a minute. But let's talk about your journey in just a minute, going from California to Brooklyn. So tell us more about the journey, and there's also more involved as well, too. According to your website, you had healed connection for oneself and going from sobriety to motherhood. Just tell us about that journey.
Yeah, moving from California to New York was a shock. California is sunny in so many ways, and this, this city is beautiful, but there's also a lot of, darkness that I find in inspiration from, honestly. And I think that, for me, addiction and New York went hand in hand, and I'm lucky to say now that so does sobriety in New York. I've found an amazing community of support and so much beauty in this city as well. And I think that, for me, it's just been a way to get even more in touch with myself as an artist. I always thought I had to create from a place of pain, and I've come to learn, and I think this album, this EP I just released, kind of represents that growth from darkness to light, and just embracing the easier moments of life, the beauty, after the pain, the rainbow after the rain, I guess, to be cliche, but, and then being a mom, I really did, doubt, how am I going to do this? How am I going to keep making music and support a little girl? And the truth is, she's just been a complete inspiration. And, they keep us young children. They keep us childlike. They remind us like what's important about life. And I found it super inspiring to write from that space. And she drives me to just be the best I can be, and as a female producer, I look at her and I just want her to be proud and know she can do whatever she puts her mind to. So I feel like I need to be that example for her.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like a really good example as well, too, Rose. You also have your self-titled debut called ROzeGld, and you also have a few singles like Us, Put in Music, Moments, and Hurricane, and more. And, tell us more about those songs.
So Yeah, Sense for Love's the first song I released, and it's really I released it on Valentine's Day, and it's really a love song that's more than romantic love, and most of the album is. Like Us and Put It in the Music are more about my community and my journey, and just like a shout out to not only female artists, but all the artists who are working so hard under the radar, indie artists that are just, really putting the music that moves people in the streets, in the clubs, in the small bars, that really the shows that just inspire people to go out and dance or, feel good. And also the people who are politically putting, their thoughts and their love into their music and spreading, educating and spreading love and peace and their experience with people. I think it's really important for us to pay attention to all those people. And Like Us is like a shout out, to all of those people. And Hurricane is more, a little more self-indulgent. It's just like when we feel like we are just too much for the world, which can happen. You just feel like you're not able to contain yourself. Sometimes that's appropriate and sometimes it's not, but I think we've all been in a place where we're just blowing through and wrecking havoc. And this is kind of my way to be like, kind of acknowledge, some of the wreckage I've left and make some amends and just say just to explore that part of myself a little bit. And I think it's just a really fun, I tried to really express in the musicality of it too. It's a dance track. And I think it's good to release those feelings sometimes, not bottle it up inside.
And it sounds like an amazing journey you went through, and it reflects in your music. We'll play your song in just a minute, but first listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking for a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/the Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Also follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with ROzeGld, the alternative dream pop princess of Brooklyn, here on the Mike Wagner Show with her self-titled EP called ROzeGld, and we've got Sense for Love featuring Jayse Vegas on this track here. Sense for Love with ROzeGld on the Mike Wagner Show.
It's louder than your fears. The time that you were the sweet redemption as you watch your lover cry. You thought it would be cool, but now you're just as cruel, and it makes you wanna die. Have you listened with intention as you heard your lover lie? Then caught between his lips, you found your fingertips saying, shh, let's go get high. 'Cause nothing ever tastes as sweet as the taste of your lips on mine. And nothing ever felt as right as the way that we kissed that night. The scent of you on my skin, feeling you breathe me in, won't stop once we begin. It's all so right for a time. I got no sense for love. I got no sense for love. I got no sense for love.
Jayse Vegas.
I got
Let's fill the room with pink clouds till we can't see each other. Let's talk about our fears and dreams. Let's feel things on higher levels. Do you hear me? The words taste good as they roll off my tongue. My sense of love is on the run. All I wanna smell is cologne and glass to sink in your arms. But your love is lost. All I wanna smell is cologne and glass to sink in your arms. To sink in your arms. But no sense for love. I got no sense for love.
ROzeGld with Jayse Vegas, Sense for Love here on the Mike Wagner Show. And tell us more about that song and what inspired you to write it.
Well, it's really about so many different kinds of love that I've experienced, not just romantic kinds of love, but just, the times where you just feel like I am overwhelmed by this emotion, whether it's a good moment or a bad moment or, something in between. There's just so much. I really do believe that love is, for me, like really the meaning of why we're here. It can combat anything. If you can choose to love and forgive and be kind, you can really get through any moment. And that song's kind of about having to get through some hard moments and then returning to love, whether it's self-love or a relationship. And Jayse did a great job with his verse. I really love his voice. It was really fun to work with him. So just want to say thank you to him, and I hope you guys look him up as well. He's an amazing artist.
It sounds amazing as well, too. You did a great job. That was a great song. And does social media love count as well for you?
I'm sorry?
Does social media love count for you?
Yeah, all love it. Love is love. Love is blind. I love social media love, especially in this crazy time we're in where we haven't been able to connect in person as much as, we'd like to. It's, any way we can connect, I celebrate,
Mm-hmm.
So.
And we'll slap the emojis on for you as well, too. LOL.
Yeah.
We're here at ROzeGld here on the Mike Wagner Show, the alternative dream pop princess of Brooklyn, and just a few minutes as well, too. And what do you consider your most funny moment you've had, or what's like a funniest moment you've ever had when it came to music?
Oh, my gosh. Wow. The funniest moment I've ever had when it came to music. Well, I did a German reality TV show. It was kind of like their Apprentice, but it was German Rolling Stone magazine had sponsored this show where the contestants were to come to New York and like find a band or an act and then choose them and promote them back at the magazine. And so we were in an episode of that filming, and they chose the band I was in at the time, and it was great. Like, it was super exciting, but, everyone was speaking mostly German, or, and they came to a nightclub show of ours, and we were meant to, like, kind of, as we all know, reality TV show has a lot of direction. And I wasn't really able to take the direction in German with the translator. So I really was confused for like the whole taping about, like which contestant we were supposed to talk to. They kind of plotted them against each other, but they had one they wanted to like have the outcome. I really am still to this day confused about exactly, what we were supposed to be doing when. So we kind of just like went with it. And, even watching the show back, which was, they didn't send us subtitles, so it's all in German. And I just remember sitting there being like, this is great. I have no idea what's going on. Like, we're on TV, but I don't know what anyone is saying. So
I guess when it came to The Apprentice, the big question is, how do you say you're fired in German? I guess that's a big question.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Luckily, Donald Trump was not a part of that show in any way, but, yeah, I still do not know. I love the language. I think I got distracted just listening to it, but I don't know, how to speak it or understand it at all. So
I wouldn't mind being on a German reality TV show, except I probably speak French or Italian, see how they would do. So
really mess everyone up.
Oh, that'd be too funny. And what can we expect from you in 2020 and beyond?
Well, honestly, right now I'm taking a moment to do a lot of self-reflection and, try to write from my heart and put out some stuff that's, I'm always looking at the next project. ROzeGld is definitely going to do another album, maybe 2021, but this year we're going to release some videos, which I love doing videos, for new releases, and probably some remixes, because I'm also a producer and DJ. So, I definitely expect some remixes really soon, and hopefully, I've been really enjoying live streaming, but I can't wait to get back on stage. I was hoping to tour this summer. That's been pushed back, but hopefully by the end of the year I'll be able to get out there and do, present this album live, which is really, I love being on stage and performing with fans in the room with live human interaction. So I'm looking forward to that.
And we're looking forward to it as well, too. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
Oh, man, ever? That's a tough one. Because like I said, I've had such an eclectic taste in music. So, honestly, I think I'd have to say my dad, which is weird because, he's a blues musician and he's a bass player. He's kind of behind the scenes, which is nothing like me, but his work ethic and his just love for the craft, he got started later in life, and he always put that love for music in me, and then finally went out and did it on his own, moved to Oklahoma when I went to college and played bass and did sound. And it's just, he's always really inspired me. And, so I'd have to say my dad.
Sounds very inspiring. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
I'm sorry?
What's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Oh, the best advice. Honestly, just follow your gut, follow your heart. Never give up on what you love, no matter what it is, and just stay true to yourself. Because I believe we all have that light inside of us. We all have that knowledge inside of us. We just have to listen.
Mm-hmm. And that's the most important thing. Once again, ROzeGld from Brooklyn on the Mike Wagner Show from California, Brooklyn. Big thank you for your time. You've been fantastic. Looking forward to hearing you again soon. Once again, tell us about your upcoming projects. What's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase or listen to your music?
You can get this album everywhere you can stream music: iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, everything, Tidal. So, wherever your preferred place to find Rose music, you can find ROzeGld. Just make sure you spell it with a 0. So it's R0zeGld. And my Instagram is the same. It's just at ROzeGld, R0zeGld. And Yeah, so, and my website's the same too, www.ROzeGld.com. So come visit. I have some really cool merch up, and I'm hopefully going to be adding more stuff soon. And I love to hear from fans, and I'm really excited to share this work. So
we'll do as well, too. Once again, ROzeGld, a big thank you for your time. You've been fantastic. Look forward to having you in soon. Do us a favor, keep us up to date. Love you to have back on 2020 and beyond. You've been fantastic, and keep us up to date.
Great. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for listening to The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.